Hello. Today we're gonna play something different. We are actually starting a new series on this channel. This series is going to be something very interesting to me, very big as well. Many hours I'm gonna spend doing this. Basically, we are going to fly all around the world in the TBM930 in a new Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Now, when I say all around the world, I'm not talking point to point, like Heathrow to Heathrow, with a straight line around the globe, right? What we're actually going to do is we're going to fly over major cities and airports, right? So we're starting here in Donegal today. We're gonna set that as departure. We're gonna leave the fuel as is, and we're gonna fly Dublin to Edinburgh, and then to Heathrow, over Manchester, between Manchester and Liverpool, over Birmingham, and then we're gonna turn right, so we fly over London and come into Heathrow from this direction. Just so we can actually fly over the cities and see the big cities. And that's going to be it for today. And then we're gonna go down to like France, to Barajas, Gibraltar, and then to Ibiza, to something like Innsbruck, or maybe from Ibiza to some big city here, and then to Innsbruck, and then back up this way to Frankfurt. And no, I'm not sure, I don't think we're gonna stop in Frankfurt. We're just gonna fly over Frankfurt into this small city here, but that's not decided yet. That's not decided whatsoever. All I've decided for today is the path in London. Anybody who is watching can request or say any suggestions on a path, and I will try to incorporate them into the path that we're going to be flying. So if you want to fly over, I don't know, some Marseille, for example, then let me know, and I will try to incorporate fly over Marseille when we're gonna go from here to here. We're gonna try to fly over some of the big cities, essentially, and essentially we're gonna go everywhere. We're gonna start from UK, and we're gonna go all around Russia, Uzbekistan, Pakistan, all of that, all the way Japan, Australia, New Zealand, Taiwan, and then back up somehow. We might go like further down, and then when we here, and then we go back up this way somehow, Japan, Russia, and then to America over Canada, Alaska, Canada, and America. I haven't decided everything. It might be, yeah, it's gonna be long, like I said, and it's not all decided. So for this first thing, what we're going to focus on is Donegal, Dublin, Edinburgh, and Heathrow, over Manchester, Liverpool, Birmingham, and then London on our approach to Heathrow. And I have to make everybody know, I am not a pilot. I am not in any way, shape, or form a professional pilot. Not in any way, shape, or form I've done any sort of piloting training or anything like that. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know half the systems in this aircraft, but I've put about 200 hours into this game already. Everything from alpha to beta to full release, and I think I'm pretty good. I'm not going to lie, and I'm not going to put myself down. I think I'm decent with flying the aircraft, even though, but yes. So what we're flying today, and what we'll be flying this whole time, is a nice TBM930. It's got good range, good fuel consumption, and decent autopilot. So what we're going to do is sort this out, and Dublin is further down this way, a bit down. So what we're going to do is we're going to set the heading to roughly match that. So yes, so our plane is going this way, so we need to go a little bit to the left. We can adjust heading afterwards. We're gonna do altitude of 3,500, and we'll try to keep that altitude for the duration of the whole flight. With a speed of 1,000 feet per minute. Turn that on just so it's ready, and turn that on. Yes, we should be ready. We should be ready to take off. Let's check the flight controls. Yes, everything looks good. I haven't, my settings actually changed, and I haven't had a chance of playing around with the controller settings again. For some reason they changed, and I don't know what the parking brake is anymore. This used to be power, and this used to be release the power, but now it's on A and B, so and it doesn't even seem to be progressive, which is definitely something that's already screwing me over. Good, I should have probably checked it before. And we have liftoff. Oh shit, yeah, see? Getting me over. And I'm gonna turn on the autopilot. Put some power into it, make sure it's all good. Get the heading correct, which is good. Put on landing gear. And flaps up. Yeah, it seems to be, my controller setting seems to be completely different. I didn't have camera options for this either. I stop close, so I'll just have to deal with that for now, because I'm not interested in switching it now. And we'll lower the game volume a bit, because this is a bit different. We are essentially going to ignore this guy. He's gonna try to talk to us, but we're flying no ATC, real time, real traffic, but no ATC, because I am not a fan of ATC. But look at this. This is already pretty good. We might have to fly a little higher, because if you can see, the mountains are there, but we're still climbing to 3,500 feet at 1,000 feet per minute. Okay, whatever, dude.
Donegal Tower Dare Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha frequency change.
And we'll ignore it now, because unless we tune, then they're gonna talk to us. We'll tune in when we need to land to get landing clearance. And I am still kind of not figured out the different landing clearances and paths. So even if I get landing clearance, I will probably end up landing on a wrong strip. So yes, that's something that's gonna happen a lot during this series. But I will try. I will try to learn as we go We're passing 3,000 feet. There is the moon. There is the sun. A lot of people, couple of people flying close. Our heading is pretty good. This here is Dublin. Our engine power is 67%, 68%. We're gonna fix that 29.92. That's our barometer, I think it's called. We are not going to see a lot of decent buildings for now, because we're flying over mountains in Ireland. But when we get over this, I'm pretty sure there will be like cities like when we go closer to Dublin. We're pretty far. We are pretty far. Basically, we are flying over mountains right now. There is a city, pretty big city here. No, here. But yeah, pretty much where these players are, there is a city, big city there. We might actually do a detour here. Again, I haven't really done this. What if we go over Belfast, which is just right over this. Actually, let's just do it. Let's go over Belfast. We need to adjust the heading. Just so we get some of the nice big cities. We are gonna go 125. Now we're gonna go 110. It's hard to judge the rotation. I don't have like any flight charts or anything like that. We are literally heading like, we need to go maybe like 100. Yes, 100 should get us over Belfast, Lisbon, Belfast, and then we're gonna fly over them, and then we're gonna sharp 90-degree turn over to Dublin, where we're gonna fly over, or do touch and go, depending on how much fuel we've got left. And yeah, one thing I like to do is PDF settings, other, wind, option 3. There we go. That should give us nice wind speed and direction, which is pretty good for what we're doing here, especially when we go for landing. Yeah, we're cruising 215 knots. We've got 47% fuel remaining. I started with 50. Should have probably started with more. And yes, so at this point we're just going to fly. There's not much to do for me. Autopilot is handling everything. We'll just enjoy the view and the roar of the propeller, I guess, and enjoy the beauty of this game. This game is beautiful. I mean, X-Plane is quite nicer, but X-Plane requires 500 mods and 500 gigabytes of mods and as much money as 500 gigabytes, so compared to a simple single purchase of, what is this, £60 here in UK, or you get it with the Game Pass even. I mean, for what is it, like £4, £5 a month? This is amazing. This is beautiful. Very beautiful. So, where exactly are we right now? We are. That's that. We are. So I think we just flew over. What did we just flew over? I am not sure how to pronounce this. Bali, Buffy, and Stralorwara, I think. I can't be sure. It definitely looks like that's what we flew over. And just to our left will be Strabane. Again, I really hope I'm not butchering these names, but I am probably butchering these names. I don't think we'll see that city. We are too far. And there is another one further up here called Londonderry. That's typical Irish name for a city. Londonderry. That's funny. But we are going to skip those cities because we not much of a significance, if you catch my drift. Yeah, the closer we get, the better the cities look. Something that I found out. So yeah, this is pretty nice. I mean, it's not exactly one-to-one, but flying over at this altitude and stuff, it still looks pretty decent, and you'll get to see a lot of things. We have to keep an eye on the height of the mountains. This white line needs to be above the mountain tip, otherwise we'll crash into the mountain. But yeah, we're still doing pretty good. Sometimes there are buildings in like middle of nowhere, and I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. Like, I feel like that's supposed to be a farm, but there is not much that would tell you it's a farm. Bunch of wind turbines. I'm actually really impressed that the AI, I'm not sure if it's the AI or if it's actually some person who is going around modeling these things. But one thing I realized that I've seen on YouTube is that if some guy landed in front of like elephants, and the elephant actually stopped and waited for the plane to kind of move away from its path, and as soon as the airplane was away from its path, the elephant started moving past the airplane, right? Which is interesting to me. I feel like there is some kind of human behind the AI, or the modeling. I don't think that an actual AI built elephants and then built this sort of AI. So it's definitely humans' work in the AI department, but it still amazes me. So they're flying inside some sort of valley. I can't. So we're having a pretty big stuttering issues now. It's definitely doing 30 FPS. I would like to check, but the FPS counter is set up for Control Z, and Z disengages autopilot, which is not something I wanna try doing. We're hitting some turbulences here. Pretty nice turbulences. It's only 3 knots going right to left, but that's still pretty significant if you see how the plane rocks side to side. I feel like this is some sort of tree farm, because of how it's laid out. Those trees just disappeared. I think they are, yeah, they are definitely too far. They're being unloaded. I have photogrammetry and other online features enabled. We shouldn't have any sort of problems with downloading the thing. And when it comes to graphics, the trees, the terrain, the buildings, the texture mapping, all of that is on high or ultra, so we should see the best quality the game has to offer at a cost of some pretty FPS. Oh, what's that? If enough people will be interested in this series, instead of recording it, I will try to live stream it. And what we're going to do with the live stream is we're just going to live stream this game. People will be able to ask me a couple of questions, and there will be a lot more communication from me in the live streams. But for now, I really don't have anything to talk about because, yeah, this game is just working its magic. There is not much for me to talk about. That, I believe, is Maghera. That right there. So this here seems to be Maghera, but I cannot confirm or deny. here in front of us we should have another big city somewhere here called Magherafeld, which should be pretty big. It's pretty big. Not as big as London, but pretty big. We're flying over Northern Ireland right now. Yes, this is Magherafeld. Again, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing these names. I am not pretty decent when it comes to these names. Yes. So, ultra details. Pretty much everything maxed out in terms of graphics. Unless there is something wrong with my anything like hardware, this is the best quality for AI generated cities you'll pretty much get, which is still good. It's definitely good. I mean, it's not Southampton, which has photogrammetry and is the only UK city that has photogrammetry, but it's good, it's decent. I'm not sure what this is supposed to be. We are just flying over this. Oh. Sadly, I'm not sure I can find what this is supposed to be here. But yeah, some of the things look like underwater. If you can see, that's underwater. Because the AI is basically just taking I'm pretty sure that's Tome right here, Tome or Tumi or Tume. God, I hope I'm pronouncing it at least half correct. And we'll be flying over these here is our destination, where we're gonna do a 90-degree turn to south, just so we can go to Dublin. So Belfast, Lisburn to Dublin, and then from Dublin we're gonna go northeast, Glasgow, Edinburgh, and then southeast, I wanna say Leeds, Sheffield, and then Manchester, then to west to Manchester, Liverpool, then southeast to Birmingham, and then southeast to London Heathrow, and that's the flight plan pretty much for today. This will be a lot in terms of flight time. I'm not sure exact flight time this is going to be, but I'm guessing it's going to be 2-3 hours, considering we have not reached Belfast yet, and it's been half an hour. So this here took us 30 minutes. This here will be another 5 minutes. Dublin will be another 45 minutes minimum. And then this is gonna be 2 hours alone and then down is gonna be, oh my god, I haven't realized this might take a long time. We might have to cut this up. We might just be able to go today to Edinburgh, and then in episode 2 we'll go from Edinburgh to Leeds, to Heathrow, over Leeds, Sheffield, Manchester, Liverpool, Birmingham and London. Maybe we'll go Birmingham, Bristol, and from Bristol we'll go to London, and then we'll just do a circle in London and fly to Heathrow. So Edinburgh, Leeds, Sheffield, Manchester, no, Leeds, Sheffield, Manchester, Liverpool, Birmingham, Bristol, do a turn, London, and then do a turn in London, like that, and then land in Heathrow. This, I believe, is, and it should be, yes, so that's either Bellicquare. We are going to start turning here, going south, so basically south, 180, yes, that's directly south, and we're essentially flying over a big city. You can see the frame rate is hitting us pretty good. Yes, frame rate is hitting us pretty good when we're flying over big cities, but this is pretty good. Flying at 3,500 feet, this would look just like a normal city. Even the big floods. I'm not sure if those are supposed to be actual floods or if that's just AI doing something weird, because that looks very out of place there. Then again, might just be 1960s engineering, where everything was terrible. Everything was made by Soviets. Soviet engineers with their concrete buildings. See, this doesn't look like underwater. I don't think that is underwater. So the AI can definitely kind of distinguish between what's land and what's water, but when it comes to small ports like this, that's underwater. That's underwater as well. It might not be able to distinguish it pretty well. But look at this. This is beautiful. This is exactly why I have 200 hours in this game, and I'm about to gain another 200 just by doing this series. I might end up streaming this and recording it, and hopefully someone comes, so I'll have something to talk about. One thing I have kind of problem with YouTube and how it handles live streaming is that unless you have a significant amount of subscribers, you are not going to show up on a live page for a video game. So essentially, because I live stream Call of Duty every day, every evening for me, and I never show up on a live page in Call of Duty because I don't have enough subscribers yet, which is definitely weird how YouTube handles that situation. Twitch just puts you in order of the amount of live viewers you have, but YouTube seems to be, you know, doing something weird with how it handles that situation. I definitely hope the game audio is not too high, because I only have it in a single what is it called? In a single track. So when I input it into video editing software, it would show up only with one single audio track, and the game might just be overbearing my my voice. But then again, the game probably sounds a lot better than me, because my voice is trash. It's definitely, my voice is definitely not something that I would want to listen to all day, if you know what I'm saying. We're gonna have to turn the heading a little bit, so that's like that. The mountains are just above us. I mean, just below us. A little bit more. Let's do 205. That should be fine. So these mountains we see is this here, I believe, because there is water behind it instead of in front of it. Like you see the water here, so the mountains are here, the water is here. Yeah, I don't know what this is supposed to be. Inert separator, turn inertial separator on, but when I have it on, it gives me error on a CAS system. After a while, of course. Yeah. And I think on a checklist, let's look at a checklist for this plane. This is actually the only plane that has decent checklist. So the takeoff is after takeoff, inert separator as required. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to turn it off or turn it on. Inert separator as required, on landing. So on landing it should be on. We are probably not gonna follow any of these checklists, because sadly I am not familiar with it enough to follow them. So what this is essentially going to be is not realistic flights. Well, they're gonna be kind of realistic, but essentially what I'm focusing on is showcasing different cities and different airports. We might be changing our planes from episode to episode, so we might be here with a TBM930. The next episode, going from Heathrow to France, we may do Cessna, or we may do private jet, because there is not much to see when we're flying over ocean. I just kind of want to get it over with quickly. But unless I go to main menu, I can't change the aircraft unless I open the development menu and do it that way. But then I'm not sure what changes does the development menu do to the plane itself. So I think I might just stick with the TBM930 for now, unless I know that we're just gonna be flying over ocean I can see from Heathrow to Paris there is water here, so doing it in a plane like this would take quite a long time. But then we have land here with Paris, and I kind of want to fly low over Paris and see the Eiffel Tower and all that stuff, which is exactly what this series is about, just flying low as we can over cities, over mountains, and just seeing the detail and all that good stuff that this game brings. That's exactly what I want from this game, what I need to see. But then going from you know, going from like a big, well, not big, but going from like here to like America, for example, I would probably just take personal jet and leave it at that, just so like you can do it faster and just enjoy the flight. But we want to avoid that. Well, even when we're gonna be going back to UK from Canada, we are going to fly over, going to fly north, over Iceland and stuff. That's exactly what we want, what I want. So we see Iceland and all that stuff. I flew over North Antarctica, and it's just pure white, empty space. There is nothing there. Just a massive wall holding two oceans back. Yeah, this is, ever since I got this game, it's just been amazing experience for me. Ever since I got this game, I've been actually considering getting doing an experience flight, where you basically pay like £140 for like 1 hour here in UK, and you basically take control over an airplane with an instructor, so you can take off, you can fly around, and you can land the plane by yourself if you want. Again, it's up to you and the instructor. You can, essentially what the discovery flight is that they will take you up in the air in like a Cessna and stuff, and they will basically teach you the basic controls, and you can try flying the plane, try landing the plane, and try taking off with the plane. And it basically is supposed to make you discover if that's something, if flying is something that you want to do. I mean, I would love like a small personal airplane, but the license is just too big. Of course, you can't fly without license. You need something like PPE, or not PPE, PPL, personal private license, or is it personal paragliding license? I'm not sure what the different licenses are. I would have to look into that, but for now, it's not something I want. It's exactly something I want, but not something I require, and nor something I can afford with my current financial situation when it comes to university and stuff. We have another point here. It would be nice to being able to click. I'm pretty sure that's the one. He is on final, I think. A320 Neo. We have pretty good amount of fuel left. I kind of wish I could drag this around, but sadly, sadly, no. And I wish I could see the airports here, because if I would see what the CCAS, I think it's called, a code for Edinburgh Airport is. Then I could put it into a navigation system and basically use their nav and their approach to basically glide us into a glide slope, and we could basically land automatically without worrying about anything, which is exactly what we're going to do. This guy is 3000, he's climbing. I was about to say he's kind of worrying me here for a minute. We are let's see. Oh, that's been pretty decent. That's been 15 minutes here, this distance. We are about 5 minutes, I wanna say, 5-10 minutes before we get there. I am still indecisive whether we should refuel here or we should just go to Edinburgh, and either we end it in Edinburgh or we do a touch and go refuel. And essentially what I'm doing with the touch and go refuel is we'll just land, we quickly refuel, and we'll take off. We're not going to taxi to refueling point and requesting fuel track or anything like that. We're just going to land, we're going to put this slider up, that's it, we refueled. Originally I wanted to do it that way, but then I realized it would probably take way too much time to, on every airport that I want to stop. I realized it might take way too much time to land, taxi, request a fuel truck, then for the fuel truck to arrive, because of course it needs to arrive, right? Then I could refuel and then request takeoff and then all that stuff, which is exactly why I'm not using ATC. Like if you see, we're still on a Toon Dublin approach. We're not going to bother with that whatsoever. We're just going to land without permission, which is not how it's supposed to, which is not how it usually with how it works at all. But we're not here for realism in terms of landing. We're here enjoying the beautiful scale of this game. That's a big city I missed because I was talking too much. What is that city? Looks to me like Drogheda. Yeah, that's definitely Drogheda. And this is it. That's Dublin. A little bit to the left. That guy is 1,400 feet. I would love to know where this airport actually. Oh, here it is. So we're gonna turn 195. No, 180. That should give us enough on. That should turn us enough so we fly at least close enough to Dublin, and then, because remember we'll hit the airport before we hit Dublin. Dublin is here, right? Like this is Dublin, this is the port. This is the port in Dublin. And when you look at maps, Dublin is literally here, like the name Dublin is here. Like this is like the center of it. So the airport is here. This is the main road. See, it even gives you roads. Look at this. This is good. Like this is the highway, the motorway, M1. And yeah, we're pretty good. Pretty good heading. When we are gonna be like here in the river, we'll basically do 90-degree turn east. No, 125-degree turn to northeast, just so we on track with this, because the EGPK is Glasgow, which is what we want to do. Glasgow, Edinburgh, right here. That's the airport. That's the Dublin, not that. I'm pretty sure that, yeah, that's the airport. I got confused there for a minute. That airport doesn't look that high quality. Oh yes, because it's not custom. That's the ATC tower. Is that supposed to be the terminal for it? No, there is no way. No. Don't know. We're gonna do small turn adjustment to 165. So we're getting ready to fly over Dublin. And here we'll have pretty unsuccessful flight because the frame rate is going to dip. I don't have the hardware to handle this at ultra resolution and stuff. Yeah, definitely not photogrammetry. Basically, any kind of city that has photogrammetry basically means that the city has a 3D view in Bing. If the city has 3D view in Bing, then that city has photogrammetry in this game. If it doesn't have 3D view in Bing, oh wow, I totally forgot how big Dublin is since I've been here with university. Right, we are now going to go 25 degrees. No, recenter. Essentially like 45 degrees. 45-degree turn northeast. It is beautiful. Absolutely magnificent this game looks. Right, well, it took us 1 hour to reach Dublin from here. Going boom, boom, boom. That took us 1 hour. So I feel like Edinburgh is gonna take us another 1 hour, which is gonna make this video 2 hours long already. So what I might have to do is cut the first episode in Edinburgh and then make the second episode go from Edinburgh to Heathrow through all the different things I've shown. So it's just something that have to consider now, because if it's gonna be another hour, I'm gonna run out of recording time and we'll have to postpone it anyway. So yes, we might just have to land in Edinburgh. But my controller settings are kind of screwed up at this point. I don't know what Microsoft did. But yes, this looks amazing. Beautiful. We flew over it. I was gonna see what that is. Oh well. We are gonna go pretty largely. You know, one thing that I could have done is simply go to Dublin and then from Dublin go up this way instead of like this, because now I have to basically travel twice that same direction, which is definitely fine, but just kind of annoying. And yeah, I'm kind of far now, just kind of sludging back on my thing. We might try to increase our speed a bit. We're going 138, so let's boost it up a bit. No, a little bit down. That should give us 140, yes. It should give us 150, which is pretty decent boost in speed. I actually can't see what the frame rate is. 30 FPS, yeah. Yes, so 30 FPS, we have tailwind of 3 knots, meaning that should speed us up a bit. Maybe not significantly, but definitely enough. 245 looks like the top speed with our current settings. So the problem is, if I put too much speed on, this will go over 100 and it's gonna start giving me errors. 98, 99. It's gonna give me CAS errors for over torque. I think that's what it is, over torque. Yeah, we will definitely reach 250, 249. Especially with this tailwind. It's the heading a little bit to the left. 125, 125. That's it. Perfect. Yeah, well, it's ocean from this point on. Not much to see here. Yeah, not much to see here. It's all ocean. That's the Isle of Man. It's kind of interesting to me that who lives on that small island. Um, that island is pretty much isolated from everything. There is no... It doesn't even look like there's like airport there. At least not big one. There, oh yeah, there's definitely airport there. Definitely not big airport, but airport. That's there, so... I can't find that airport on the maps. It's definitely weird. Is this it? No. That's some kind of forestry operation, but I don't see an airport there. Unless I'm an idiot. Yeah, it definitely just looks like some sort of forestry. Now I'm here. So there is forestry operation going here. So the airport should be here. Oh, I see it. It's definitely... Yeah, that's definitely an airport, but it's definitely not a commercial one. Looks to me like just some dirt runway. Unless I'm looking at something else. I can't see it on Google Maps. Maybe Bing. Maybe Bing will show me. Can't believe I'm going to Bing Maps to find out if there is an airport. So south of this to aerial. Okay, that looks weird. Yeah, this could be it. I don't know. Right, how far did we progress? Yeah, that's definitely at least half an hour. It's interesting. The Google Maps and Bing Maps are very different. Like the saturation on Google Maps looks kind of off. But then I don't think saturation on the Bing Maps is realistic at all. I feel like it should be something in the middle, but it's not. It's Bing Maps is oversaturated and Google Maps is undersaturated. It's a huge difference. Sorry if you hear like birds in the background. I happen to open, so Yeah, it's definitely weird. That airport is just not there, unfortunately. I would love to see it in game, but I don't think we can divert. No, we are not diverting there at this point. These two cars, 10 minutes. This is 10 minutes almost. So 20. No, that will be 15. 25. 30, 35. So 1.5 hour minimum. And then I'll have to re-encode this video to lower bitrate so YouTube doesn't have to do it, because I'm recording it at 4K 70,000 megabits, but it's 30 FPS, and YouTube for 30 FPS is only 45, between 35 and 45 megabits instead of 70. So even my 60 FPS videos I have to re-encode, and I do it at 68 megabits. Now I could record at 68 megabits and then not have to worry about re-encoding, but it's just something that I do. Right. The reason why I end up re-encoding my videos in 4K is because YouTube doesn't seem to be giving me enough bandwidth for 1080p videos. Like, if you go to any of my videos and you put 1080p resolution, there is just astonishing amount of artifacting and pixelation, and it just looks horrendous. So in order to solve that issue, I have to record my videos in 1440p, and then I just re-encode them in 4K. So YouTube gives me the VP9 codec, which seems to bring up the quality quite significantly, if I do say so myself. The re-encoding does takes a lot of time, because what I'm essentially using is DaVinci Resolve 16, and because I'm using the free version of it, it's only using CPU encoding, and that's not good at all. Like, it's encoding at 15 to 25 FPS per second, meaning a 60 FPS video like Call of Duty takes about as 3 times longer to render. So imagine you have 1 hour video that you recorded at 1440p 60 FPS, and you really want YouTube to give you that high quality, the best quality, then you need to re-encode it at 4K 60 FPS and upload it. The video is still 1440p, but because you re-encoded it in 4K, YouTube thinks it's 4K and it gives you higher bandwidth, gives you the VP9 codec. And that gives you the high quality. Even when you go to 1440p videos on my YouTube channel and compare them to 4K video, it's better than 1080p. I'm not gonna lie, 1440p is better than 1080p. And for a game like this, even 1080p might be good enough. You know, I'm not going to lie. But for fast-paced shooters like Call of Duty, like I've been uploading up until now, 4K is the only option. Otherwise, even at 1440p, the artifacting in distance, it's just bad. On 1080p you get artifacting pretty much everywhere you can think of. Absolutely everywhere. On the names, on every single text in the game. When you move, it's trying to process all that information and it's just garbage. And 1440p definitely fixes everything that's up close, but everything that's in a distance, it still gets that pixelation. But then 4K on the other hand doesn't seem to have any sort of problem with the pixelation up close or in distance. That's why I decided to make them in 4K, and I cannot record in 4K unfortunately. So even though my videos are technically in 4K on YouTube, they are only 1440p. 1440p is all I can record in. Otherwise I'd be missing a hell of a lot of frames due to encoding lag or rendering lag or even network lag when I'm streaming. I could stream in 1440p or 4K if my computer can handle it, but it can't. So I mean 4K, 1440p it can handle it because I'm doing it now, but 4K is just not gonna happen. Not unless I get a really powerful computer that's dedicated for recording or dedicated for streaming, because even if I use this computer as dedicated PC for recording or streaming with my PS4 capture card, then it still loses 50 to 70% of frames are dropped. Right now I'm recording at 1440p 30 FPS, and out of 130,000 frames I've only skipped 5 due to rendering lag and 78 due to encoding lag. Most of that, by the way, is during that loading scene, that first loading scene that loads the plane in. Those skipped frames are during that time. Yeah, maybe I can see it. Oh. Okay. Listen. But what is this then? Don't know. But there is definitely airports. And a big one as well. Well, I can't tell. Yeah, definitely. I thought it would only have like port and that's it, but no. Definitely has a big airport. How did I miss this airport? You're kidding me? I was looking at it for like good 10 minutes now. It's a big airport. And there is another one up here. I'm looking at this one up here. There's a plane here. Did he crash? No. Is he up? No. Don't know. We'll soon be going over the Glasgow to our right here. So let's just pull this up. The bank maps doesn't seem to even show Glasgow. How did they make this? Okay, so Glasgow is up here. Ah, that's not Glasgow. That's Glenluce. Port Patrick is here. That actually an airport though. I think that's the runway. Those are still over, that's great. Yes, so Glasgow is here. No, here. That's Glasgow. So we are definitely on the right track. Thank God. I don't have to do anything. And then Manchester is here. And then we'll land on, Edinburgh is here. And then we'll land there. And I think we'll call it the first episode. That's hopefully gonna be premiering on Thursday, which is tomorrow at the time of this recording, or Friday, which is 2 days from now at the time of recording, which is Wednesday. I can't believe this is live weather. I mean, this doesn't look like live weather. But yeah, it is live weather. Doesn't look like it. I mean, I am near Leicester and it's cloudy as hell. Oh, well, then again, Leicester is here. So, yeah, that's definitely far to wonder about the weather. More wind turbines, wind. Yeah, I think they call wind turbines. And trees that are gonna load in slowly. What is this? That's weird. Those trees didn't load in. See, that's not underwater. None of that is underwater. So AI doesn't seem to know what to do with some of the ports, especially in the middle of London. You know, you'd think in the middle of London somebody would check for this sort of thing, but they didn't. are slowly but surely passing 1 hour 20 minutes into our flight time. Approaching Glasgow Airport. EGPF is the Glasgow Airport, and soon we'll go to Edinburgh. Slowly but surely we'll make it there. And yes, so final decision. Edinburgh will be our final stop for the first episode. I will make sure the next episode is definitely more interesting as we pass more of the big cities in UK. So a reminder for next episode, we are essentially gonna go from Edinburgh to Heathrow, but we are going to be passing Leeds, Sheffield, Manchester, Liverpool, Birmingham, Bristol, and then we're gonna go from Bristol directly to London, and we'll do U-turn over London and land at Heathrow. I'll have to fix my controller settings because of course something happened to it. It used to be different. Right now that I think about it, I think having the triggers to the pedals, the yaw, I think it's called, is quite nice addition because I can hold the yaw in specific place, especially for crosswind landings, which is something I couldn't do when I had it on the buttons above triggers. And yeah, so it's definitely, but most of the stuff is just broken. I cannot control flaps. I don't know what the button for parking brake is, which is definitely something I had set up properly and correctly before Microsoft tried to took over my controller settings. I am planning to get the Logitech system, but that has been sold out ever since this game came out, so yeah, good luck. It's definitely not something that I will be able to find right now, so I'll just have to deal with using a controller for now. So we should have still enough fuel, 35, 38, that's good enough. Yes, that's good enough for Edinburgh. This is another big city. I'm not sure what this is. So Ayr, Prestwick, Moncon is definitely something along those lines. I have no idea how to pronounce any of these. Dude. What is... There's like 5 different cities along this coastline. This right here is called something Troon. So this is Troon. That's an airport. That's Macton. That's Prestwick. That's Giles something. That's Kilmarnock. Yeah. This here is that is Draghorn. Yeah, Draghorn. Kilmarnock. We are definitely close to Glasgow, which is just in front of us at this point. EGPF is Glasgow, and then we are essentially going EGPH for Edinburgh. You can see the shadow of a plane here. That's definitely interesting. That's a nice touch. We've got 24% fuel. This here is Stuarton. Yes, definitely Stuarton. Oh my god. Or is that the Kilmarnock? No, that's Kilmarnock. That's Stuarton. Yes, definitely. You can tell the landscape. And soon we're going over Glasgow. Just a tiny bit more and we are going over Glasgow. Right? Yes. So the airport is southwest of Glasgow. Glasgow is like here. The name of it itself is literally here. Plus that's just above this right turn on a road. So if you look at maps, Glasgow is written here, right above the river, just below this right turn, and here is the Glasgow. We're flying straight through the middle of it, and then when we're here, we are gonna start doing a turn, and everything's gonna go turn for the worst, because landing is awaiting on runway 09 ILS, but we're not doing ILS landing. We're just gonna do full manual landing. That's a tennis court. Yes, this is a Glasgow airport, and we shouldn't be flying over it, but whatever. We're actually gonna go a little bit over now. Gonna do 2500 feet, 1000 feet per minute. We're gonna ease off the engine speed. It should be pretty good. And maybe that wasn't such a good idea, because now we have mountains, and those mountains are in the way. No, they are not. We need to turn. Okay, those mountains might be in the way. Basically east. Yeah, we should be good. So, Glasgow, goodbye. It's been nice knowing you. Glasgow definitely looks like it has photogrammetry, but I'm not sure if it does. There is no official list of cities that have photogrammetry, so it's hard to tell. We are... the runway is literally like this thing is here. Like, see? So I think that actually shows you exactly which way the runway is going to go. Let's find out. Huh, looks like it. Let's look at this one here that we had. Oh yeah. So I feel like that should show us like heading, but we are going to be landing 24, not 09, because the airport is just before Edinburgh. Edinburgh is here, so we're gonna fly over it. Is that us? Yeah. We are essentially gonna fly a little bit over it. Going to slow down. We are at 2500 feet. Steadily, turn that on, just so we know. So yes, this is where it starts. Well, not really. This is Livingston, I'm pretty sure. Yes. This here is Livingston. Or... no, it's Broxburn. Is it not? Oh man, don't know. Ease of the power just a tiny bit more. Get us to 150, if not less. The airport is right there, that's the one we're gonna be landing. So we know pretty much which way the runway is going to be, but before we go there, we wanna visit Edinburgh, which is there. We'll do a heading change east 90 degrees. That should, in theory, because essentially we need to get, oh no, that's the wrong airport. This is the airport. Oops. We almost landed in the wrong airport. So where the hell is this airport? EGPH. EGPH. And that airport is, drumroll please. Actually, don't give me drumroll, because I can't find it on the map. Thanks. EGPH. Oh, that's not the airport, dude. EGPH. Okay, it is. Listen. This whole time I was looking at the wrong airport, so I'm not gonna lie, I feel absolutely stupid. EGPG. EGPG, what airport is this? Cumbernauld Airport. Yeah. Dumb. Yeah, it's official. So we're gonna be going for this one. But now we're going super slow again. Let's go speed up a bit. Get this going a little bit more. 1 hour 40 minutes, that's interesting. EDN, yeah, Edinburgh. Let's do 105. It just get us directly over Edinburgh. This landing might not be pretty because, like I said, the controller settings are all screwed up and I didn't realize it until I started recording. And yeah, I didn't want to repeat all that beginning stuff again, so we just not deal with this for now. What's that? Is that an airplane? God, I really hope that game is not completely over. I really hope the game audio is not much louder than my voice audio, because I have no way of editing it. No, because I'm only recording single track audio. because I haven't figured out how to do it in OBS yet. We've got 20% fuel, which is enough to get us where we want to go, and we'll just get there. Ryanair 682. I'm not sure if this is a real flight or a player. No, I think that's a real flight because a player would have a name above them, nameplate. Like these ones have Cessna 172 at 287 feet, and A320 Neo at 2920 feet. Ryanair 668 has nothing. And this is Edinburgh. So we're going to fly past it, and then we're going to turn, heading for airport. And I'm actually going to slow down at this point. There we go. And this is where the frame rate hits, because this is a big ass place. Yeah, look at this beautiful city. It's huge. Okay, we are going to turn. Essentially, we'll turn this way, and then we'll do a big circle around onto the approach this way. Yeah, let's go south, all the way south. Oh my god, heading! No, a little bit. Yeah, like that. Let's do 290. I mean 190. Look at this beautiful city. This is pretty good. I think this has photogrammetry, I'm not sure, because the only city in England that has photogrammetry, as far as I know, is Southampton. But Edinburgh is Scotland, right? So I at least I hope it is. Oh my god, I haven't even. Come on. Yeah, but this looks amazing. Okay, we are going to do a turn here. Basically we'll do 150. We'll go a little bit forward, like that. So we fly over this, and then we'll do a turn, and then fly behind this on the approach. Now basically let's go east. Oh wow, the bank angle. Basically half bank means that the airplane can only turn half, do a half a turn. Yeah, this is pretty good, but this is not Edinburgh anymore, I don't think. Right. Let's turn back north. Essentially we're gonna turn and we wanna go behind this little hill. So I'm not sure exactly what sort of a heading that actually is, but it's past north. Because if you think about it, we're facing north now. 225. Turn that power down a bit more. It doesn't matter if we go little. Right, this is exactly what I wanted. Oh wow, that's pretty good. This game is absolutely beautiful, especially in these big cities. Yeah, it's that. This is definitely not photogrammetry. I think we'll fly over Southampton in second episode too, because we'll definitely be leaving this episode here. But yeah, this is I'm not sure what this building's supposed to be. It's kind of weird. I am definitely going to be landing with assistance of Trim, because the control is not set up properly and the Trim seems to, you know, be kind of easy to control for the landing, so we'll just use that. And we are gonna, this is pretty good. We are going to start turning for the approach. So it's definitely west and west. Let's fly west for now. And once we at EDN, we'll deal with the rest. Yeah, this is pretty amazing. The wind is hitting us quite heavily. Oh yeah. It's not as loud either, so you should be able to hear me better. But you should be able to hear background noise as well. This looks amazing. Yeah, what is this? This is pretty good. I mean, looks like when I'm building City Skyline City or SimCity City. Which is definitely not good. Okay, let's zoom this in. We are gonna have to down. We're going to 1500. Fast. Yeah, this might cause problems because and we overbanked it. Oh crap. Right, well, we'll have to turn around at 1000 feet. It'll be still decent. The hoster is fly a little that way and then we'll turn. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll leave the flaps because we are on approach at this point. Turn heading just a tiny bit, 245. And I think at this point I might just take it over because I'm never gonna hear the end of it in the comments if anybody actually does watch this. We need to slow down a bit. Flaps should give us lower speed before we no. Okay, so at this point we're gonna go south and turn off the half bank. And full.
Landing gear, landing gear.
Oh shit. Okay, we have landing gear and flaps. Again, I'm not the best at landing. And we're just gonna turn off the autopilot at this point. Oh shit. Just turn. I had it set up correctly. Dude, game, come on, why did you have to screw me over like this? This is terrible. Right. So start going down. And like I said, not the best pilot. But I don't have the proper tools for it. But I'm doing my best here. We are past our minimum. And let's line up with the runway. A bit more power, just so we don't sink. And we of course, because it's impossible to control everything. And this will actually be the smoothest landing I might actually ever do. If I land at all. I'm gonna hit the lights, am I? No. Level? And on the ground. Shit. Stop. Are you serious that it mapped that on flaps? Well, I'm gonna have to definitely play with the settings here. I'm kind of liking what they did, but this is stupid. Okay. It's not progression, it's just maximum and minimum. And of course the freaking not there. We'll run out of runway, dude. Because the controls are all messed up. Alright. Oh my god. On! Thank you. Shut up.
Warning, okay.
Okay. Well. The landing definitely could have been better. But due to control settings that the game changed for some reason, that still kind of pisses me off. Despite that, I think this was a pretty successful first episode. So I'll leave it here with the 2 hours. Again, we'll have another episode soon. With that episode, hopefully I'll sort the control systems, and that will go Heathrow. Again, Edinburgh to Heathrow, Leeds, Sheffield, Manchester, Birmingham, Bristol, possibly Southampton, London, and over to Heathrow. But until then, I'll leave you guys. Bye.